Can you recover attorney's fees if you win a case? In the United States of America, the general rule is no, you cannot recover attorney's fees if you win a case unless a contract says you can or a statute says you can. So we start with the premise that you cannot recover attorney's fees if you win a case. But there might be a specific statute addressing your scenario, or if a contract that you signed says the winner can recover attorney's fees, then it can. So that's how you figure out if you can recover attorney's fees. A related topic is this. Will all attorneys work on a contingency basis? In other words, the attorney doesn't get paid if the attorney doesn't win the case? No, not all attorneys will. And in fact, most areas of law, attorneys will not work on that basis. Let me give you an example. Let's say you are charged with murder, just to pick a simple example, and your attorney representing you wins. Well, who's going to pay the attorney if you win? The government doesn't pay that. You'd have to pay that. So it's not like a scenario where there's a car accident. An attorney sues the insurance company of the negligent driver, and the insurance company pays out money, and then the lawyer typically would keep a third of that, and 2/3 go to you. That's a different scenario because money is coming in. But in criminal offense, there's no money coming into you. You're just fighting for your freedoms. And you can't pay the attorney a third of your freedoms, for example. And in fact, contingencies are prohibited as a matter of law in a number of areas, including criminal law, also generally divorce law. Think about it this way. You don't want attorneys incentivized to help a couple get divorced, because if it's not in the best interest of the client, we don't want the attorney pushing for their own money and their own self-interest. We want the attorney to be devoted to the client's best interest. Now, does that always happen? Absolutely not. And in fact, I think it's very unfortunate that attorneys have a self-interest to fight, because the more they fight for their client, the more money they get. And so they get paid more by fighting more. Thus, attorneys have a self-interest to fight more. It takes a noble attorney, an attorney with integrity, an attorney who puts the client first, to say, I'm only going to fight if it's in the best interest of the client, and I'm going to work with the client on that. Now, a cynic might say, well, an attorney can't fight if it's not with the support of the client. That's true. But I've found a number of clients who have been so angry with what happened to me, or what happened with them, that they have said to me, I would rather pay the money to you as an attorney than let my spouse get it, or ex-business partner get it. And there are probably a lot of attorneys who would say, this is great, because I could use the money, And I think that's really disgusting and sad, because you have a person who is at a very vulnerable, delicate time in their life, looking to the attorney for counsel and advice about what they should do. And so it is even more important that the attorney put the client's interests first. Otherwise, the attorney is violating their fiduciary duty of loyalty. They are breaching the trust that the client has placed in them. And I just think that is a great injustice. And I am highly sensitive to that, because I have seen too many times over the years where attorneys are acting in their own self-interest and taking advantage of clients. So I think when a client comes to an attorney and says, I'd rather pay you than the other side, a proper response is the following. Thank you. I appreciate the trust that you place in me, but I have no desire to put my own interests first. We need to put your interests first. And I understand right now you are very interested in preventing this other party, who has done a lot of awful things, from getting your money. But I also want to think about more than just the money. I want to think about the distraction this case could be. Because, by the way, we're probably talking about whether to settle and pay some money. And I tell my clients, let's put some value on the distraction, the negativity, the toxic nature of this lawsuit, and how it affects your happiness in life, your contentment, your peace, perhaps your other relationships. What do I mean? Many times when people are in the middle of a lawsuit, they're talking to their friends and family about it because they're so outraged. They can't believe what's going on. And these friends and family, first they're sympathetic and empathetic, but after a while they're like, this is taxing on the relationship. And so it's important for my clients to understand that a lawsuit not only will tax their own happiness and their own peace of mind, but also their relationships. If a business is involved, often it affects the lawsuit affects the morale of the employees in the business, especially if they're getting deposed. So there are great consequences and negatives to continuing a lawsuit, and often it makes sense for parties, even though they don't want to settle and it feels unjust to settle, if you can pay a small amount of money and be done with that thing, that often is better for the client than continuing to slog through the toxicity of litigation. We've covered all the questions we have time for today. Love to have you at a future live session. If you'd like to know about these, and by the way, they're usually not available in full online unless you hop onto them live, then you can watch them. But if you would like to be part of the next one, feel free to register at aaronhall.com/free. You'll get on our free newsletter. It doesn't come out that often, and it's all about delivering important value to you, educational information that will help you avoid problems in your company and improve your life. Go to aaronhall.com/free if you would like to get notified about the next time we are going live. It was wonderful being here with you today. Please feel free to check out this YouTube channel and subscribe if you are interested in other educational information for business owners to bring more success to your company and life. Have a great day.